तौ सन्तोषयता सन्तौ श्रीलरूप सनातनौ दाक्षिणात्येन भट्टेन पुनरेतद्विविच्यते तस्याद्यं ग्रन्थनालेखं क्रान्तव्युत्क्रान्तखण्डितं पर्यालोच्याथ पर्यायं कृत्वा लिखति जीवकः. Hare Krishna. So welcome to today's Bhakti Sandrabha discussions. 153 anuccheda. We are seeing what is the subject matter here. So in yesterday's class, we discussed very little. So that is, what is that? Arthavada. Namana Arthavada Kalpanayam Doshaha. If you consider the glories of holy name as praise or as exaggeration, so then it is offense. So as said in the Padma Purana. So that's why person, even after hearing so many times the holy name, but he is not getting the Shraddha, and he is considering so glories of kirtan or chanting or just arthavada. So that kind of person is sent to hell. Arthavada means so considering glories of holy name as praise, exaggeration. So first one is satam ninda namanah param aparadham vitanate yatah kyatim yatam khatam vu sahate. So tad vigarham शिवस्य श्री विष्णोर्यायः गुणनामादि सकलं धिया भिन्नं पश्येत् सकलु हरि नाम हितकरः. This is second one. Guru Ravagna. Third. Shruti Shastra Nindanam. 4. Arthavadaha. 5. Harinamni Kalpanam. 6. Arthavadaha is the 5. Fifth one. So if you see in English, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. This is Arthavada. They write like this. And Harinamni Kalpanam. Kalpana means giving some interpretation. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. This is 6. Okay. Okay. Considering chant glories of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to be an imagination. Exaggeration. Imagination means that means they are not there, just they are assumed or assumed. Imagination is not a so fitting here actually. Exaggeration actually. Arthavad. Tadarthavad. Kalpan means giving some interpretation. Best. So to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an exaggeration. then that means exaggeration. It's just arthavada. Arthavada means it's a phrase, but actually it is not there. Which qualities are not there, but still for praising purpose, those qualities are mentioned. Then it is known as arthavada. That is a standard usage actually. Like you see, one time holy name is destroying all the sins past, present, and future. Oh, it's just a phrase. It is just a. So imagination is different. Praise is a little bit different actually. Some subtle difference is there. Okay, anyway. So it is there. We can. So minute difference only, but not much. But the sense you should understand. So fifth offense is that tadarthavadaha. Fifth offense is tadarthavadaha in Sanskrit. Arthavadaha. That's why it is said here. Namni arthavada kalpana. Arthavada kalpanayam. So dosho api sruyate. In name, arthavada kalpana. Kalpana means considering. So considering arthavada in name. That means considering the glories of the holy name as praise is offense actually. Clear this is? Any question? Okay. 5. Fifth वाला क्या है in Bangla? That is 5. That is the arthavada. Okay, next. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But you people get the sense now. That means, so thinking the glories of holy name as exaggeration is offense. That is the main point you should understand. So now we'll go forward. Okay. Next, tataha antarbhutanam anusandhaneshu anyeshu tad bhajaneshu cha sutarameva ardhavada dosha avagamyate tadeva yathartha tanu. And also we discussed so, any worship which includes the chanting of holy name, and if you consider result of that worship is also exaggeration, then in that case also there is offense, because you are not seeing the glory of the chanting holy name which is included in that process, and considering that process is not going to give any result, or it's just exaggeration. Not going means it's just exaggeration, then it is also is offense. तदेव यथार्थ एवा तन्माहात्म्ये सत्यपि यत्र संप्रति तत्तद भजन फलोदयः न दृश्यते कुत्रचित् शास्त्रे च पुरातनानामपि अन्यथा श्रूयते तत्र नामार्थवाद कल्पना वैष्णव अनादरादयः दुरन्ताः अपराधाः एव प्रतिबंध कारणं वक्तव्यम्. So in the present day-to-day life, we will be doing this so many kinds of the devotional activities, and we are not seeing the results. And also in the previously in the scriptures, we are seeing someone is practicing some process and he is not getting the result of that. Someone is practicing the bhakti process and not getting the result. So like this also we are hearing from the scriptures. In these two cases, why that results are not coming? Because there are some kinds of the offenses are happening, like Vaishnava anadaradaya. That means disrespecting the Vaishnavas, or otherwise considering the glories of the holy name as exaggeration. This kind of offenses are happening. So, and that's why we are not seeing the result of that. Yesterday we discussed this also. Next, Atayev Uktam Sri Shaunakan. Even we are seeing chanting holy name, but heart is not get melted. By chanting holy name, heart should be get melted, and after the melting of heart, what are the symptoms we can see? After that, Vikaro Netre Jalam Gatra Ruheshu Harshaha. Then there is tears flowing from the eyes, and also air standing on the sand because of jubilation. So this kind of symptoms has to be seen once heart is melted. And heart is melted when it is melted? When anyone takes up the holy names. So, but we are taking up everyday holy name, but there are no symptoms like that. So what is the reason? That is also that result we are not seeing. The reason is what? Wash the hands, go on. So the result is because of offense. Offense is considered. Now from here on also should go on. Yatha prayena adhunikanam yathava. Adhunikanam. So mostly in the case of recently people, we can see the offense like this. Adhunikana means recent peoples. So in the recent people's case, we are seeing they are taking the holy name, but their heart is not get melted. And so that's why we are not seeing the symptoms of that melting of the heart. And also we are seeing one more, from the history, we are seeing one more thing. We are taking the example of Nruga. You all know the story of the Nruga. He is a great king. He is very charitable actually, and he is very generous. And he cares Brahmana so much. And one time what happened? He gives generally cows, so many cows in donation. So one time, so he gave a donation, actually cow as a donation to one Brahmana. So then what happened? That cow, because of affection to other cows, so it came back to the same group. And once again, that king gave that same cow as a donation to another Brahmana. Now, this first Brahmana who took as a donation, so he is saying that, so give me my cow. So that Brahmana is asking. Then that Brahmana said that I got this as a donation. Then both were fighting and went to king. And now, so king is asking to that first Brahmana, so anyway, I gave this as a donation, so please leave it. I can give it. He's trying to compromise anyone too. So accept instead of that cow, 1,000 cows and leave this. But that first Brahmana is not ready to leave. I want only my cow. I don't want any 1,000 cows. Then finally, so Brahmana that means king was not able to give. Then what happened? So he was taken by the Yamadutas. And he was submitted in the court of Yamaraj. Then Yamaraj asked him, what do you want? Whether you want to first get the punishment of your sins, or you want to get the enjoyment of your pious activities. Then Nruga said, I want first punishment of my sins. Then he became, what is that? Lizard. Chameleon. Chameleon. He became chameleon. Big chameleon. So, and he is lying in some well. So one time Samba and others, all the devotees, all the companions of Samba, he's the son of the Krishna. He went to forest and he was seeing the chameleon. And they are all seeing that big animal is lying in that dark well, and without any water, any food, not able to move. So they tried to save it, but they were not able to save. Then, so they called Krishna. So they took the help of the Krishna. And Krishna came and saw, oh, acha, it's a pity animal, so it should be saved. So then he tried. So he put his left hand and he took out. Even that well is so deep, his hand was extended to that much. So immediately left and so kept on he took out from the well. So Then that Nruga, so God immediately, that chameleon became Nruga immediately. So he went back to his abode, God's abode somewhere. So moksha. So that's a story here. So that when Nruga got back his body back, that means chameleon became Lord. So Nruga. So that Nruga is saying this sentence. What is he saying? Brahmanyasya vadanyasya tavadasasya keshava smritirnadyapi vidvasta bhagavat sandarshanarthinaha. Here, Nruga is saying, Brahmanyasya, that means he is saying about himself, I am the protector of cows, Brahmanas. Brahmanyasya means protector of Brahmanas. Vadanyasya, also I am generous. Tavadasasya, I am your servant. Keshava, oh my dear Keshava. Smritirnadyapi vidvasta. Till now, my memory is not lost. Even he was chameleon, and after that he became Nruga. So he knows what happened in the that whole in the previous life. He was king, and that whole story. So that's why he's saying Smritirnadyapi vidvasta bhagavat sandarshanarthina. I was very much desirous so to see you. And so like this, Nruga is explaining about himself, and he is mentioning here the important point here is, what is that important point here? Anyone can observe here? It's a great important point. Here, Nruga is, from his words, what we are understanding, he is Tavadasasya. That means he is what? He is a servant of the Keshava. He is a Lord's servant. He is Lord's servant. Next to Brahmanyasya, he is also devoted to Brahmanas. So, Are, what you said, all of you, till now, is too much. Few days back, you remember, all of you? I also remember, but I don't know, you remember or not. What is that, Anuccheda? Juhvanavakti bhagavat gunanamadheyam chetascha nasmarati taccharanarvindam krishnaya no namati yatsira ekadapi tanana yadvam asato kruta. Yamaraj is saying, oh my dear servants, you people go and bring those people whose tongue is not chanting the holy name, whose mind is not remembering Krishna, whose head is not bowing down so to Krishna, and those people you bring. So like that he said. Now you see, you heard the Nruga story. In the Nruga story, what we are seeing, Nruga is Tava Bhaktasya, Tava Dasasya. He is a servant of the Lord. He is servant of the Lord, and also he was taken by Yamaraj, servants of Yamaraj. Yamaraj is saying that, what Yamaraj is saying? If the tongue is chanting the holy name, you should not bring him. And there what Yamadutas did? They took the servant of the Lord to Yamalok. What is this? Something problem is coming or not? Big problem is coming or not? Yes, there should be problem always. Then you can solve that. What is that problem? One time, one side, Yamaraj is saying big statement. Huh? Also, he got chameleon body after that. And he is a devotee and he is a Brahmana. He's a devoted to Brahmanas and he is a devotee. and only one small mistake. What is that? He gave cow 2 times, he donated, that's all. And even he is a devotee, he was taken to Yamalok. What is this? Then how you will understand? Huh? How you will explain this story then? This incident, how you will deal? Miscommunication? Miscommunication of what? Yamaraj miscommunication, you are thinking. Yamaraj is communicating wrongly with his servants. Like in the case of the way it happened in the case of Ajamil. But at that time, they were not knowing. In the Ajamil's case, so at that time, those servants were not taught by the Vaishnava philosophy. Then after that, they taught. Nruga's case happened after that. You assume that. So they know. Servants, they know. This. So anyone who is doing the bhakti, so they should not. Even we studied that there. Even anyone is coming in the path of, so person in the path of, so in the path which is seen by a person who is just for momentarily some kind of attachment to the Lord, and that person sees any path. In that path also, even in the dream of that person, Yamaraj and Yamadutas, they will never appear. That way we have studied. And now here he is a servant of the Lord. Nruga is a servant of the Lord. And he did only one small mistake, and he was taken by the Yamadutas. What is this? So, and then what will happen to us? Whether we'll go to, now the question is coming to in everyone's mind. So whether we will go to the hell or not. So this is the point. Okay. Sadhguru Prabhu is thinking that anyway we heard so much, but once again we should go to hell. What is this? Huh? No. So hard. So now the answer is given here itself. Whatever we discussed there itself, answer is there. So why Nruga was taken to Yamalok, so the abode of Yamaraj, he was taken because from this you should understand that he is taken to, so abode of Yamaraj. This is confirmed information. You cannot change anything. That means he is doing the, so Nama Sankirtan, he is doing the bhakti, but what is the problem he is having? He is doing so many yajnas, he is doing so many things, but the problem is he is having the, so Yamaloka Gamanam Praptoha Vina Cha Arthavada Kalpanamayam Bhavam Shruta Sastrasya Pitasya Satyam Tadrisha Mahatyam Bhakto Sri Ambaraishadivata Seva Graham Parityaja Dana Karma Agraho Nasyat. Because of course he is doing the worship of the Vishnu, but he is very much interested in the donations, giving the donations, doing the karma kanda, and that means he is considering whatever bhakti he is doing as the what? Arthavada, exaggeration. Arthavada kalpana mayam bhavam. He had one kind of offense. He is committing, so one kind of offense. What is that offense? So he is considering the glories of the bhakti, because if he is not considering glories of the bhakti as exaggeration, then his faith should not be in karma kanda. His faith is there in the karma kanda. He is not get attracted to the glories of the bhakti, means he is thinking that glories of the bhakti as exaggeration. You can say he's because if anyone, even after hearing this Shastra, the glories of the Bhakti, Sruta Shastrasya, because he's a good king, he's a well-versed king. Sruta Shastrasya, he heard all the scriptures, he heard all the glories of the Bhakti, even after hearing this everything, but still he is having the full faith in Dana Karma, donations, giving the charity to the Brahmanas, and performing the yajnas and these things. That means whatever glories he is hearing from this at Shastras, he is thinking these are all exaggeration. He is not like Ambarish Maharaj. In the case of Ambarish Maharaj, so he is also king. But what is his faith? So Ambarish Maharaj, see, Seva Graham Parita Seva Graham Bhakto, see Ambarisha Divat Seva Graham. He didn't accept. So Ambarish Maharaj is fully devoted actually. He is having full faith in the devotion. And his main focus is only bhakti. All the limbs of the bhakti he used to practice, Ambarish Maharaj. But so this way, that's why we are saying that if any devotee, any devotee means anyone is doing the worship of the Lord, but still, if we consider that worship of the Lord or that devotion, whatever the results of that devotion we hear from the Shastra as exaggeration, then he will be Kshipami. Lord, him, that means you see in the before to this. Yo Manushaha Tam Iha Dukka Chaye Kshipami Samsara Ghora Vividharti Nipiditangam. So Lord himself is saying actually. So he'll be thrown into the hell. Even he is doing bhakti. Even he is chanting. Okay. And this is the even devotees, of course. But if you think the glories of the bhakti as exaggeration, one time chanting, what is this? We'll put in this. So now you all understood how can you say Nruga is considering the glories of the bhakti as exaggeration? How can you say? Tell me. Take mic. What you understood?
So what is the question for? How he thought?
Very good. So how can you say Nruga is considering glories of bhakti as exaggeration? How can you say? You heard?
No, actually he thought the whatever written in the Shastras regarding glories of bhakti, so that is simply exaggeration. That's why.
How can you say?
How can I say?
When you are narrating this story in a Bhagavatam class, so why he was sent to the hell? Even he is a devotee, he did a lot of piety. Because of, so he is going to Yamalok. Yamaloka Gamanam. Hells means those are, that means it's a court. First initially you'll be sent to the, so Yamaraj is sitting in his throne and he will be kept, you will submitted there and he will verify your sins and he will send to the different spots, Kumbhi Pakam and Krimi Bhojanam, like this. different spots will be there and there he will send. So, but going to the Yamaloka, so what Yamaraj said that if any tongue chants the holy name, you should not bring anyone's tongue chants the holy name. You should not bring that person to my abode. You should not touch at all actually. What is bring? But here servants of Yamaraj touched or not? Touched and they took away. Huh? Huh? Are? Then you neglect that. He went to the Yamaraj's abode And there Yamaraj asked, what you are hearing when I explain the story? you, you didn't hear what I narrated a story, that's why actually. He went to Yamadutas came and he took to the abode of Yamaraj, and then Yamaraj said that what punishment you want, whether you want the first punishment or the enjoyment. Then he said, I want punishment. Then he became chameleon. Okay. So you tell me, what is the reason? How can you say? You didn't catch. Okay. If anyone wants to say, how can you say that? Okay, Mataji, tell.
Prabhuji, you said because he was engaging in karmakanda activities, that proves that he didn't have complete faith in the practice of bhakti.
Yes.
That became an offense.
He didn't have, even after hearing the Shastra and even after hearing the glories of Shastra means hearing the glories of the holy name and bhakti, so he didn't get the faith on the bhakti and nekanishta he didn't get, and he's simply performing the dana dharma ityadi. So that means from this we should understand that, so he is thinking that those glories are as just exaggeration. That means he is doing ardhavada, that kind of ardhavada offense. So that's why, so even he is a devotee of the Lord. In the previously we have seen Yannama Kirtana Phalam Vividam Nishamyana Saddhati Manute Tadu Yadutardhavadam. This is in this sloka from the Brahma Samhita. Okay. So from that sloka we are understanding that anyone doing the ardhavada, so Yadu Uta Ardhavadam, anyone thinks that anyone doing the offense of ardhavada, they will be sent to the hell. Okay.
Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji. Even in devotees, we see they practice some things, like maybe because they're coming from a particular tradition, a culture, family, some things they follow, some festivals they observe, which is not directly Krishna conscious. For example, in North India, they do Surya Puja and things like that. So we see that even in actually Krishna's pastimes, we see that.
Chat Puja.
So, yeah, Chat, exactly. So do you will this be also counted as an offense that you're not, and also you see our acharyas also say that someone who's completely like a pure devotee, for him he's not required to follow any other Vedic rules because he's doing 100% devotional service. But those who are grihasthas, they still should observe this and that, so many different things. So will that be considered as an offense, considering Riga's situation here?
So, Loka Sangrahartham, in future we are going to study this. So sometimes in the Archana actually. So three process, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So Archanam. So in that process, we are going to study sometimes, so to for the sake of being a leader of society, and but he is also devotee, so that he should not be cause for destruction of the culture, and the culture is also very important. So then he might be practicing some rituals which are coming in that society. He being head of that society, he might be doing, but he is devotee also. So then how to see this? Then in that rituals, whatever that means, example, worshipping the demigod. So is they will be having some kind of devata worship in their family tradition, and he is the head of that, and also his devotee. Then at that time he will be worshipping the demigod worship without, it means, offense, like he is not considering the demigods as the as the independent devatas, but he will be considering them as the limbs of the limbs of the Lord, or otherwise he is seeing the Krishna, that means he is seeing the demigod as a adhisthana, as the sitting place for Vishnu. In that way also he will worship. So like that, so some kind of that, it doesn't mean that he is having the Shraddha in the demigod. So that's why doing some kind of cultural activities for the sake of So Yadyadacharita Sreshta Tatyadevetaro. Even the kings, even Pandavas also performed the Rajasu Yaga and so and so. So those only for the sake of setting the example, that is not reflecting they are not having the Shraddha. So in that way, they are also doing those with the spirit of devotion. So that should be taken care actually. With the spirit of the devotion is those should be done. Or otherwise, anything is rituals we are following, those should be approved by the, like our previous Acharya Sanatana Goswami in Hari Bhakti Vilasa and so many places it is explained what kind of rituals we should do. Not the, so other than the Krishna conscious rituals are not recommended actually for the devotees. Is there actually the list? Of course, in that also, how many we should follow? Our current Acharya will say Hari Bhakti Vilasa also is a vast book, is having the hundreds of, so injunctions are very difficult also nowadays. Even that is also becoming difficult to follow now. So that's how our Prabhupada came and he said this some examples, some rules he modified. So according to time, place, and circumstance, that we have to see that based upon that. So, but puja, for example, your example only we take Chat Puja. So then when they are worshipping even if they worship the Chat Puja, would you no problem, devotee. But he should worship, so Surya Narayana in the case of Surya, or otherwise you worship Surya as the eye of the Lord. So in that case, then of Chat Puja is also performed and there is no offense. Chat Puja, it is worship, Chat. In the Bihar, it is a big festival actually. No, Chat means sun. Chatti Maya actually, Devi Mataji, I don't know that.
That is Surya Puja, yeah.
Chat. Something, okay. Okay, we'll see. So further proceed. And I will take questions a bit time you give me. So, because otherwise it will, yeah. Less questions I will take today. Okay, not more. I will take it some time later. I will take definitely, but next, what is happening? So that is an Nruga's case. So we are understanding that. So this kind of Arthavada offense happens, then even he is a devotee, he'll be sent to the hell. He'll be punished. So that Tadrisha Aparade Bhakti Stambascha Sruyate. So sometimes that offense is going to stop the bhakti also. Tadrisha Aparade Bhakti Stambascha. Bhakti is stopped. Sthagitaha. Yatha Padme. Namaparada Bhanjana Stotre. In Padma Purana we are hearing in Namaparada Bhanjana Stotram. Namaikam yasya vache smarana patagatam. Namaikam yasya vache smarana patagatam srotra. No, something it is. Namaikam yasya vache smarana patagatam srotra moolam gatam va shuddham va ashuddha varnam vyavahita rahitam tarayatyeva satyam. Ekam nama ekam, one name. If anyone is chanting or so remembering or just entering into the ears or hearing, and maybe that name is not properly uttered or properly uttered or not uttered, or maybe it is given with the gap Krishna. So there may be some gap between the syllables. Even that kind of uttering also is going to deliver. Is going to deliver that person. That is clear. Next. Tacche deha dravina janata lobha pashanda madhye nikshiptum syat na phala janakam sigrameva atra vipra. But if you chant the holy name for the sake of body, for the sake of wealth, for the sake of people, for the sake of greed, so in this way, pashanda madhye, that means in this way, if any offender is doing, then for this sake actually it's done holy name. Lobha pashanda madhye. So in that case, if they take the holy name, that is not going to give any phala immediately. Sigrameva phalajanakam nasyat. That means if you take the holy name for the sake of body, wealth, and so, and it is taken by the even by the offenders, then in all these cases, it is not going to give its result quickly. So that means you are chanting the holy name and expecting the material result. What is the result of the holy name? What it should do actually? It should make you to experience the Krishna. That is the result of the holy name. That you are not going to get immediately. When you use this name for the sake of wealth, body, and so on, so. Or otherwise, if you chant this holy name with the offenses, 10 offenses, then it is not going to give its result. So from this, we are clearly understanding that if someone is having the offenses and he is doing the bhakti, and that bhakti is not going to give Krishna prema immediately. If one who is not having the 10 offenses and he is doing the bhakti, then it is going to give its result Krishna prema quickly. This is the point. Okay. Skande Prahlada Samhitayam Dwarika Mahatmye. So we are seeing from the Prahlada Samhita. There Dwarika Mahatmyam is there one chapter. So there we are seeing Pujito Bhagavan Vishnur Janmantara Shatairapi Prasidati na Vishvatma Vaishnave Chavamanite. So Pujito Bhagavan Vishnu, even Lord Vishnu is worshipped. Janmantara Shataihi, even someone worship Lord Vishnu for hundreds of lifetimes. Na prasidati Vishwatma. So Vishnu will not be pleased by that worship. Vaishnave Chavamanite. When he will not be pleased? If anyone commit Vaishnava offense, Vaishnava avamanite. If anyone disrespect Vaishnava.
Something different also. Prasidati na Vishwatma Haris tasya pujam dvadas brashikam. Dashtva Bhagavatma Vipram.
Next, Prabhuji. Skande, okay, it is clear. That means from this, what we are understanding, what is the science? You all know anyway. So if someone is having the offenses, even bhakti is done, it is not going to give its result. And also it is sending to hell also. All this, so when we were so much excited when we heard the sentence by the Yamaraj, Jihvana Vakti, now conditions are applied. We are seeing that conditions are applied. It looks so exciting, but it's really exciting, and yes, but it's true actually also. Also conditions are there. Skande eva anyatra markandeya bhagirata samvade. So in the Skanda Purana, in another place, that means there is a conversation between the Markandeya Rishi and Bhagirata. So there you are seeing Drishtva Bhagavatam Durat Sammukhe Nopayati Nagruhnati Haristasya Pujam Dwadasha Varshikam Drishtva Bhagavatam Vipram Namaskarena Nachayet Dehi Nastasya Papasya Nacha Vaikshamate Hare. So here in this conversation between Markandeya and Bhagirath, what we are using? Drishtva Bhagavatam Durat Sammukhe na upayati. Someone is seeing the Bhagavatam very far, from very far, but he is not coming in front of that. Not only book, Bhagavatam means even the person, some devotee of the Lord. So somewhere is there. And he is there and you are, what is this? Like this. You are going. And not coming in front and paying obeisances and wishing. So then, what will happen? Na gruhnati harihi tasya pujam. Hari will not accept his puja, his worship. Dwadasya varshakim. How many years? 12 years he will not accept. So if you are committing offenses and offering the prasad, so that's why how can you say everything is prasad? When it is accepted by Lord, then only it is prasad. Not that the keeping in front of Lord is prasad.
Cooking with offense, but who's person, devotee, pujari, offering with full of heart. Please. So what will do, Lord? Then
Lord will not take. Puja, he will ask Pujari, why you are not cooking?
Pujari is what is God and is a patram pusham phalam to bhakti
Then Krishna says that you only patram pushpam. Why you are offering his prasadam to me? I didn't ask you to his bhoga.
Because I had
who will ever get that patram, they will become. And remaining will all will.
I had asked a similar question one senior devotee. So probably whether everything cooked prasad. So he said, because Lord is promising, I accept. And Shastra is there, and mantra, you are speaking through mantra, everything. If you under scriptures, Shastra, so is yes, it is a prasad.
Okay, acha, very good. What you will do? You let us say you are God, you are Supreme Lord, and you can. And what you will do? Okay, tell me answer. Let us assume 2 minutes you are the Lord, and someone not your enemy cooked, and but your devotee offered to you. Will you take her not?
Certainly, that whatever devotees that just suppose offering, so his consciousness also depends. Suppose Lord also reciprocate this person.
First of all, will you ask your devotee or not? Hey, why you are bringing from there? He's not my devotee. You should cook, na? Will you say or not? Huh? No? If he is a perfect devotee, why he will feel laziness?
Bro, organizational, institutional structure. So
okay, later.
Something.
This organizational structure. Later we'll discuss. How we are implementing the core philosophy through organization is also one subject matter. It is. We are going to write a book on this. How to implement the principles of bhakti through organization. This is a big book is going to come. But your questions are nice, Prabhu. Good. Real practical questions. So many details are there, actually, definitely. So that's why Krishna consciousness is not so simple, easy. It's easy for easy. If you don't have any offenses, it's easy, but it's also having a lot of terms and conditions. Big terms and conditions, so many. And yeah, of course, definitely, at least in this life, we are in the service and maybe with mercy of the Lord, something progress. A little progress can happen. Okay, let us see what Krishna will decide. Of course, we have laziness definitely in many ways. So next, Društva Bhagavatam Vipram Namaskarena Narchayet Dehinastasya Papasya Nacha Vaikshamate Hare. Društva Bhagavatam Vipram Namaskarena Narchayet. Someone, that means Vaishnava is coming in front of you and not paying the obeisances, wishing, at least by the mind or body or by the hands, should wish, but not wishing. तो मेरे enemy है, ये मेरा expert है, आपको कुछ नहीं, he didn't do anything to you, but you consider him as your expert. He's मेरा गुरु भाई नहीं है, ये मेरा opposite गुरु भाई का party है. Something is coming from the other party. So then even that devotee didn't do anything to you, and we will be so not paying any respect or obeisances. Then what will happen in their case? Dehinastasya papasya nacha vaikshamate hare. Whatever sins he is doing, so Krishna is not going to forgive that. Though all his sins are counted and punishment will be given. Huh? So nacha vaikshamate harihi. Hari will not forgive his sins. Hari is not forgiving, then why holy name will forgive?
Oh, Vakreshwar Pandit, he offended. Vakreshwar Pandit offended to.
Okay, bro, I'll take questions. Evam bahunyeva aparadhantaranyapi drishyante. So till now we have seen few actually here. If someone is not coming in front of Bhagavat, and then in that case Hari is not accepting his worship. So like this, and also if someone is not paying obeisances to the Vaishnava, then his sins are not forgiven. So like this, there are so many offenses, not just 10 offenses. There are thousands of offenses are there in the scriptures. Ujjwal Prabhu. Many are there. Okay. Bahunyeva aparadhanyapi drishyante. 10 are the core and which are counted in the Padma Purana. But there are even many in many places, in many Puranas, many offenses are there. But core things anyway, they are said to us by the Padma Purana. But Evameva Sri Vishnu Purane Shatadhanur Namno Ragno Bhagavadaradhana Tatparasyapi Veda Vaishnava Nindaka Alpa Sambhashayaiva Kukuradi Yoni Praptir Ukta. Once upon a time there is one king. His name is Shatadhanu. This story came in Vishnu Purana. He is worshipper of the Lord. Bhagavad Aradhana Tatparasya. He is fully immersed in worshipping the Lord. But what happened? He just spoke with a person who committed offense towards the Vedas and Vaishnavas, who blasphemed Vedas, who disrespected Vaishnavas. And so such a person, this king met such a person, not met, that means just a little bit he spoke with that person. Then this, even he is a worshipper of the Lord, but in the next life he became a dog. सब लोगों को डर लग रहे हैं क्या? Everyone is worried actually. What is this? Better not to study bhakti sandrabha. My God, so many difficulty. So many facts are coming actually. Till now we heard all the glories, and now so many facts and figures are coming. Huh? So from this we are understanding one just alpa sambhashayaiva, little bit he spoke with that offender of Vaishnavas. So that's all. He became kutta. That means dog. Ataha, therefore, shushusho shraddadhanasya ityadau आवृत्तिर असकृत उपदेशात् इत्यादौ च पुरुषाणां प्रायः सापराधत्वाभिप्रायेणैव आवृत्ति विधानम्. If there are no offenses, if there are no effect of offenses, if there is no concept of offenses, then what should happen? One time chanting, Goloka chale jaye. One time chanting, Goloka. One time chanting and go to the Goloka. Hari Gan. Golok. Hari Gan. Krishna Gan. But Shastra is saying to chant again and again. Shushushoho Shraddha Dhanasya Vasudeva Katha Ruchi. Shushudeva Shraddha Dhanasya Syan Vasudeva Katha Ruchi Syan Mahasyevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanat. Shushusho Shraddha Dhanasya. कितना लेट किया? नहीं लेट नहीं ना. अच्छा. What time? 7:40, 7:30. अच्छा. Good. Which Bhakti Shastri? English. Jai Damodar Prabhu. Okay. 7:30 is given time. Okay. Shushushoha Shraddadhanasya. From this we are understanding that in Shastra it is recommended to chant again and again. But we know that one time chanting is sufficient to destroy all the sins and it make you eligible to go back to Godhead. Then why it is said chanting of again and again in the Shastra? Means that is just due to offenses. If someone is having offenses, to destroy those offenses, again and again chanting is necessary. And also Brahma Sutra is also saying Avrittir, that means repetition of the taking holy name. Asakrut means again and again, many times. Asakrut upadeshat. Why this Avritti is recommended? Saparadhatva abhiprayena. Since everyone is having offenses and those offenses will be going by the holy name. So that's why we are seeing next. Saparadhanam avrityapeksha. That's why anyone is an offender of the holy name, or anyone committed offenses towards the Lord, bhakti and the holy name, those has to repeat the mantras, repeat the chanting of the holy name. So that is said in the Padma Purana. Nama Parada Bhanjana Stotram. There is a one stotram, that means one praise. So in that praise is what? Nama Parada Bhanjanam, destruction of the offenses towards the holy name. In that praise, we are seeing what? Nama Parada Yuktanam Namanyeva Harantyagam Avishranti Prayuktani Tanyevarthakarini cha. Nama Parada Yuktanam. That means someone who is already backed up or he is having balance of many offenses. Nama Parada Yuktanam. Namanyeva haranti agham. So that offense will be taken away by what? Namanyeva. Holy names only will take away. Namanyeva haranti agham. Avishranti prayuktani tanyevarthakarini cha. That means continuously, avishanta prayuktani, continual chanting will be going to destroy the committed offenses. Otherwise, one time chanting is enough. Sadyo hrudya vrudyate krutibhihi sushushubihi tat kshanat. So from this, holy name is having that power, but we have problem. Cha iti. So that's why even we hear so many glories of the holy name, so they are not manifesting. In our case, their results because our offenses. Yes. What?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, Namasajja Haridas Thakur, he chanted, offenseless chanted. So why he chanted more and more?
That is coming. Siddhanama avritistu pratipadameva sukha visheshadayartha. To relish the new pleasures. What happened? To relish the variegatedness in bhakti. ঠিক আছে, বুঝতে পারবে? বুঝেছিল, বুঝতে পারে, পারলে। Okay, so that's why in the Nama Parada Bhanjana Stotram we are studying that these taking the holy names again and again will destroy the Ashvishranti Prayuktani Tanya Arthakarini. So that's why continual chanting, those will be giving the result. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's why our Acharya, all our Acharyas gave this wonderful process. Every day sitting and so cleaning the process. Morning, every day morning. All the Nama Pradas are offenses we are trying to reduce, destroy the committed offense. That culture has to come actually. Even just by studying this will not sufficient. When we have the association of the devotees who are strictly following the rules of the regulations of the bhakti, who are very sincere and serious of every moment. So if you are having that kind of association, then that means then knowledge is added with the mercy of the Vaishnavas. That Sangha is nothing but the mercy. Then it will be more effective actually. That's why. But if you are, even you know all these things, but you are in the association of offenders, then you will forget this knowledge very immediately. Because this knowledge is going in somewhere, that means very backtrack. Within 1 or 2 days, you will be out also completely. And once again, will become normal, and whatever association you are getting, based upon that, you start behaving. Even we know that offenses should not be done, but still. But when you have that kind of association, then you will be reminded with that association every time. So that's why in the bhakti life, the most important thing is getting the good association. Right association is very, very rare actually. We need to build that culture actually. Association, good devotee association. That whole society, community is like that. Then everyone will become serious actually. So otherwise, what will happen? Offenses, offenses. Gone. Vidvatta will not protect simply. learning this is not just sufficient. That kind of attentiveness is important. That kind of seriousness is important. So that's why we should get the very serious devotees association. You should stay like the Gurujan actually, if you the elderly people, elderly devotees, if you stay with them, the behavior of them and their vani is fully controlled. Their thoughts, their actions, their speech, everything is fully controlled. And though, so that's why, so you can learn from that. Only for some kind of pleasure, we simply gossip about the devotees, hours and hours sitting and this devotee is that devotee is that, this, that. And we add so much. We are earning 2 rupees and spending 5,000 rupees. I am also in that category, okay. Anyway, who knows, many offenses happens. Very consciousness, that means it's like you are walking on a road which is full of thorns. How you will be careful? Yes or no? Full of thorns are there, like you see, big thorns are kept. Then can you walk without closing eyes? This big sharp thorns. Every offense is like a thorn. So we are conscious about our body. That's why if you find any thorns, immediately you'll become alert. But we are not conscious of our spiritual body, spiritual health. And we will commit so many offenses. And we will be going back. That means our progress is delayed. That's why it is said that result of the bhakti will not be coming quickly. Na kshiptam syat phalajanakam sigrameva atra vipra. Na sigrameva. Not quickly you will get. You will take another 100 lives and suffer of those. And anyway, in that Arthavada is there, then you will definitely go hell also. Get some punishment there and come back. Very serious this is. So the devotional process is very blissful and easy for the person who is really submissive and humble and follows as it is the instructions given by his authentic guru. Otherwise it will be very difficult. So it will be the temple should be the place for worshipping the Lord. Otherwise it should not become the place for committing offenses. So being in community and gossiping and so criticizing, so all the devotees left and right from the beginning to end. We may not see the result of these offenses immediately in this life, but those results will come in the next life also. So those results anyway are waiting for you. What are those results? Will be coming in the next paragraph. Those ashraddha, Kautilyam ashraddha bhagavan nishtachavaka vastvastantara abhiniveshaha bhakti saithilyam swabhaktyadi krutamanitva ityadini. Anyway, I am coming to there. 10 minutes extra I will take today. What happened? Actually, that's we should be very serious. एतदपेक्षैव त्रैलोक्य सम्मोहन तंत्रादौ अष्टदशाक्षरादेः आवृत्तिर्विधानम्. That's why, keeping this in mind, you will be seeing in the Trailokya Sammohana Tantram is one of the tantra. In that tantra, what we are seeing, repetition of the Ashtadash mantra. What is that Ashtadash mantra? 18 syllables. What is that? Om Namo Bhagavate. That is the Dadash mantra. Ashtadash mantra is what? I don't know. Something holy name only, definitely. Krishna's name. Anyway, so Krishna's holy names, repetition of Krishna's holy names, we are seeing in the Trailokya Sammohana Tantra. Yatha is as follow. Idanim srunu devi tvam kevalasya manorvidhim dasha krutvo japen mantram apatkalpayana muchyate sahasra japtena tatha muchyate mahataunasa ayutasya japenaiva mahapatakanashanam. So what? Here it is said that 10 times. So whoever is chanting, then that will relieve him from the general calamities. Devi, O Devi, idanim shrunu. Now you hear. Tvam kevalasya manorvidam, manoho vidim. Manu is saying this vidhi. Manu Maharaj. Dashakrutvo japet. That means if you chant this the Ashtadash mantra for 10 times, then it will be releasing you from what? Apat kalpane. So that means from the some calamities, some accidents. So sahasra japtena tatha muchyate mahataunasa. If you chant for 1,000 times, then that will be relieving you from the great sin. Mahata aunasa. Mahata aunasa means sin. Ayutasya japenaiva. If you chant for 10,000 times, then the great sin, Mahapataka. Mahapataka means killing the Brahmanas or otherwise. So great offenses, those will be destroyed. So and ultimately what you should understand here, a repetition of the mantra is said. So the Srila Jiva Goswami is backing up his philosophy. So since we are all having offenses, that's why Shastra is recommending us to repeat the holy names. Otherwise, so just to go back to Godhead, one holy name is enough. Ityadita Brahma Vaivarte Namopalaksha. In the Brahma Vaivarta, in the Namopalaksha we are seeing. Hanan Brahmana Matyantam Kamato Vasuram Piban Krishna Krishnetyahoratram Sankirtya Suchitamiyat. If someone is killing the Brahmanas or out of so lust, so or someone is drinking the wine, so he is doing such a offenses, offenses means such a sin. Krishna Krishna ityahoratram, whole night and day, Krishna 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 Krishna. So if he, then what will happen? Sankirtya Shuchitamiyat. By that, so all this sin is destroyed, is cleaned away. So atra aparadalambanattvena vartamananam papa vasananam saha eva aparadhena nasha iti. So aparadalambanatvenaiva, Vartamananam papavasananam sahaeva aparadena so nashaha. So by the repeating iti tatparyam. So finally what you are understanding? When you chant the holy names, what it is going to do? It is going to destroy the previously committed sins, and also it is going to destroy the currently existing your desires, vasanas. This is going to happen. This is the conclusion. So that means what it is going to happen when you chant these holy names. So the tendencies of doing the offenses and also already committed offenses, both will go. Not just desires. The tendencies of committing offenses. Aparadavalambatvena vartamana papavasananam. It means that what kind of papavasanas? Vasana means desires, are the impressions or whatever the contamination. So papavasana is a contamination, sinful contamination, which is centered or which is backed up or which is endowed with, or otherwise which is the aparada, which is sheltered in, otherwise which is sheltered in the committing offense. That means the sinful tendencies to commit offenses and the offenses both will be destroyed by chanting by repeating the holy name. That is also important. So the tendencies will go by the serious avritti. Avritti means sushoshtadha dhanasya. That means repetition of the holy name. That's why the important process is this. The most great stumbling blocks are in our life, in the offenses, that's 10 offenses about the holy name. So those going by the name only, no other process. Other devotional limb will not help in that. It will be coming anyway. We'll be discussing that. So that's why Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, 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 Hare. This is the Savior of the whole world. Huh? Question, yes, we want. Ujjwal, he is giving the Ujjwal, Prakash.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Maharaj, here told that 18 syllable mantra, but we are chanting 16 syllable mantra.
And that is also, anyway, all the names are powerful. Okay, that you'll do research tomorrow and tell me. Okay. I want someone who can help in this. Etadrisha pratibandhapekshaiva uktam Vishnu dharme. So that's why this is, offenses are like stumbling blocks to get the result of the bhakti. You are doing bhakti but not getting the result means blockage is there. That blockage is nothing but, like you see in the heart, there is blockages, no flow of blood. So similarly, then heart attack will get. If that blockages are more, then you will be getting the heart attack. If these offenses are more, then bhakti is completely stopped actually. He will leave the bhakti process and that will be coming an ashraddha. That will be coming. Same. More blocks, no flow of blood. Similarly, more blocks, more offenses, no bhakti. Finish. Backward. Backward means you have to wait for the lot of time. You will be getting this. So punishment again, punishment, punishment and again punishment for those offenses. And then after that, because of that punishment, those offenses will be reduced. Then block will be cleared. And then once again, some kind of association will get. Big process this is. We will get punishment for that. So one more just. एतादृश प्रतिबंधापेक्षा एव उक्तम विष्णु धर्मे. Pratibandha apekshaya. That means we can expect that there is a block, this kind of block, as seen in Vishnu Dharma. Ragadi dushitam chittam naspadam madhusudhane badnati naratim hamsaha kadachit kardamambuni nayogya keshavam stotum vagdrushta chanadrutadina Tamaso nashanayalam nayendo lekha ghanavruta. Ragadi dushitam chittam. That means the heart which is filled with the material attachment and also so and so. So na badnati ratim, in that heart there is no rati for the Krishna. That means rati will not sit there for the Krishna. Example, hamsaha kadachit kardamambuni, like swans, they never stay in the water which is muddy water. Swans. Similarly, when the heart is wholly contaminated, so that means because of offenses, and there rati will not be produced, is not appearing. Nayogya keshavam stotum vagdushta chanadrutadina cha anadrutadina. Nayogya keshavam stotum, vak. That speech is not eligible to glorify Keshava. Dushta, which is wicked and which will not respecting Vaishnavas. Such a speech is not eligible to glorify the Tamaso nashanalayam na indo lekha ganavruta. So when moon is covered by the clouds, then the moon rays are not going to dispel the darkness. In the same way, so who is having the false speech or the wicked speech, and that is not going to glorify that cannot glorify. That means someone who is committing so many offenses and he is trying to praise, oh my dear Lord, it is not going to please the Lord because of the offenses. The tongue is so much excited to offend the Vaishnavas, so much enthusiastic to offend Vaishnavas. And but now we are going and trying to please the Lord with the tongue. Then na ratim. So nayogya, that is not eligible actually. That tongue is not eligible. Tongue is not eligible means that speech, whatever. That kind of person's speech. That heart which is filled with this kind of tendencies of committing offenses, desires to tendencies committing the offenses. So in that heart, rati will not stick. They will blaspheme and then after that they go away from the bhakti. Okay, we'll see. remaining things tomorrow. Thank you very much. What is that? Someone wrote in chat box. As Nain Mandiri Mataji, please. You have a question?
No, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Please accept my obeisances. It was because you asked earlier, you asked a question, so I replied in the chat. So it was just from earlier in the class.
Oh, just sorry, mother. Actually, see, I operator is different, and I'm not. It's it's where from. I think you might be not having idea of how this set up. So I'm not directly in front of the system. Actually, system is operated by one devotee. I'm speaking, and my voice is picked up, and it is given to that mixer, and from there it is going. So that's why if anyone do the chart, write the chart, so only Atul Gopal Prabhu can see. He's our operator, so he's seeing that. Yeah. Sorry, Mataji. Actually, in the time we are not able to so recognize that. Okay. So thank you very much. Ramsharan Prabhu, yes, please. We can take questions now for 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. So one question is like this: when we say these offenses, is there any is it like when we say offending to Vaishnavas, like considering all the Vaishnavas, or like it is also basically depend upon like Madhyamadikari, Uttamadikari, or Kanishtadikari? Like is it different kind of things over there? Like
yes, Prabhu. We saw already in Kapila Dev's teachings also. All the Vaishnavas are, so all the living entities are also not at equal level. So they have their own category actually. So whatever the respect is deserved by that level of devotee, that should be given. Otherwise, it is offense. Whatever kind of respect is deserved for that devotee, that should be given. Like if you get the sannyasi, then you have to do bow down, and is a uttama adhikari, so considered as and bowing down. And someone madhyama, he is considered in another level of respect. Someone is kanishta, so he should be affectionately handled. So like this, whatever respect is deserved for that so devotee, so that should be given. Otherwise, it is offense. Okay, next. Okay, if not, okay, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, we hear from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary that a devotee is not under karma. He's actually released from karma, right? Yes. So is this at a particular stage of bhakti that he becomes released from karma, like we have first Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, then like that? Or as soon as at what stage does he become free from karma?
Yeah, Mataji. So Adau Shraddha. So whenever Shraddha means Jata Shraddha Mat Kathasu. So whoever is getting this Shraddha in the holy name, so they are considered as, that means Shraddha means not only Sadhu, so Nam, Bhakti, but Shastra and Guru. So Shraddha means Adau Shraddha is in all these things actually. So that means Shraddha means one who became the accepted the authentic Guru, so Parampara Guru, and connected officially and accepted the bhajan kriya, the process. This, then he is, that kind of person is in the directly control of bhakti. He is directly in control of bhakti.
Okay, so in case of Nriga Maharaj, or he was a Brahmana in a previous life, so he was not connected like that, right? Although he said he's a servant of the Lord.
Who is Nriga?
Nriga, yeah.
Yeah, Nriga. So he read these shastras, but he's not having the main problem. What he's worshipping the Lord, but he's considering so karmakanda is more superior, and worshipping Lord he's not understanding as the process the way he should be understood. Like it's a supramost process, and the bhakti's glories are real, and that kind of faith he doesn't have actually. He doesn't have any shraddha at all. That's why because of lacking Shraddha, he will be considering the glories of the bhakti as exaggeration, and that's why Arthavada happened. Of course, he is doing the bhakti based upon Shastras, but the punishment is given to him.
So that offense can be committed even when someone starts bhajana kriya.
So then that means he is not having any Shraddha only, you can say. So you see, Vishwanath Yogi Thakur's that process, Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya, their Shraddha means what? Their Shraddha means they are having the Shraddha in the bhakti, they are having the Shraddha in the holy name, they are having the Shraddha in the glories of the bhakti. So if they have any doubt in that, then their process is not started at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Which one?
Bharat Maharaj.
Bharat Maharaj, yes.
He fell from a very early stage of Baba.
Yes.
But it was due to offenses.
That will be coming because of the here Srila Jiva Goswami says that is because of the Bhagavan Nishta Chavaka Vastvantra Abhinivesha. This kind of result came in his life because of some offenses which are not known for us, but we should consider that. Are there? Yeah. Yeah, Sri Ramcharan.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. So in Bhagavad Gita it says that yajna dana tapa karma na tyajam karam eva tat. So in that case, like we basically do, if devotee does that, those involved in those activities somewhere, so they should be considered as a subordinate to bhakti, and then it will be successful. Or if they will see like as an independent process, then it's an offense.
Any yajna dana tapa karma so are done. It is also leading to many varieties of the combinations. Anyone doing this yajna dana tapa karma, considering that bhakti as a servant of those, then that is offense. Considering bhakti as a servant of those, but some result will be definitely gained, that material result. And yajna dana tapa karma is done, and also bhakti is done. So then it is known as Mishra Bhakti. So they are also doing the yajna dana tapa karma, and also doing they know the bhakti glories, and they are also performing the bhakti. So that means Swarupa Siddha Bhakti, Sakshat Bhakti. Then that is known as Mishra Bhakti. And someone is doing the only bhakti, Swarupa Siddha Bhakti, that means only chanting and no other activities like Haridas Thakur and like Goswamis, then that is completely, that is Nirguna Bhakti. And yeah, and someone is, also we have seen this in the case of 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So various stages, you might be so remembering those. So what are the different levels of the devotion? So levels of devotion, Krishna is mentioning there. There he is mentioning that means fully fixing the mind in the Lord. If that is not able to do, then at least practice. So try to fix that. If you are not able to do, then at least do that means Shravanam Kirtanam, this. And then if you are not able to do that, then you offer your results of the karma, like that. So it comes under those categories. It's different categories of the bhakti.
But will that be an offense, like say if somebody does Shraddha karma or other kind of activities, will that be considered an offense to bhakti, even though they have faith in bhakti, but if they do other activities?
Shraddha karma, these they are performing, so they are doing the bhakti also and doing the Shraddha karma. So that's that's why for the Vaishnavas, how the Shraddha karma should be done. So how this kind of thing should be done, that is given in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. So how to do the Namakarana samskaras. In the case of Vaishnavas, how the samskaras, how the rituals has to be done. So how to observe the other festivals. All are guided by the Srila Sanatana Goswami in Hari Bhakti Vilas. That is a guidebook. That is a guidebook. In our case, how the Shraddha should be observed, That means calling the Vaishnavas and feeding so that that Jivatma can be so delivered. In that way it is. Not in that way, ritualistic way, which is explained in the Karma Kanda. There is a difference in it. That's how our acharyas gave, even that also.
So, but we can do that, like that. That's not going against bhakti.
As prescribed by our acharyas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, bro. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada ki.